you should look forward to in the next 6 months. Let's look.
I love action.
Right, first off,
Eagle Eye, starring Shia LaBeouf as a young man who is thrown into a deadly cat-and-mouse game by a mysterious caller on his cell phone. Slightly creepy, but Eagle Eye is directed by DJ Caruso, who made the box office hit Disturbia, which, not coincidentally, was the film that made Shia a star.
now this plot may sound very similar like the other action movie, Cellular, but according to insiders, this movie is way better and will make a splash at the box office. Also, remember Ong Bak, the superb Thai fighting flick that introduced the world to Tony Jaa? Well, he's back in Ong Bak 2 and
Tony
kicking...
Ha, isn't it?
Yeah, Tony Ha.
Yeah.
Well, he's kicking more asses than you can count in this one.
And pretty good fighting there. Now, this movie has taken 3 years to complete, partly because Tony himself mysteriously disappeared halfway through the filming, apparently to so-called meditate, but it's now ready and will be released on December 4th.
Next up,
Max Payne. As most of you know, the movie is based on a third-person shooter video game that has sold 7 million copies around the world.
Mark Wahlberg plays a man who is hunting down the enemies who murdered his family.
Now, it's often been noted that Max Payne actually influenced Hong Kong action films, especially those of John Woo with his slow-mo gunfights.
Now, the next film is a huge hit in Korea. It's called The Chaser, and it's a crime thriller about a serial killer who preys on prostitutes. Based on real events, the movie is opening at the end of the month.
It's already broken a few box office records and won a couple of awards, including Best Picture at a Korean Film Awards Festival. Slightly Jack the Ripper, isn't it?
And finally, we want to tell you about Righteous Kill. Now, this film stars 2 of Hollywood's greatest actors, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They play veteran police detectives who suspect that a recent murder is connected to a case they solved years ago.
This last time these 2 actors teamed up was in Michael Mann's Heat, and that was sensational. So we can't wait to see this one. I haven't seen... Who's acting? Michael Douglas is in this one too?
No.
Who is it? It's just...
Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Too many Botox faces for me to recognize.
I don't know if they had Botox. I mean, some of the older actors are pretty...
lived-in faces.
They're pretty confident of how they look, so they
I actually liked Al Pacino when he was in Shark Tale.
When he was?
In Shark Tale?
Shark Tale, the cartoon.
Yes, when he did the voice. Al Pacino.
Was he in Shark Tale?
Yeah, you have. He was the mob boss voice. He was
I thought
really
it was
funny.
Martin Scorsese.
No, Martin Scorsese played his henchman. Who, you know, it was the shark with the thick eyebrows.
Okay.
But Al Pacino was the henchman, kind of mob mafia guy.
So, you know, again, which one do you want to see? All of them?
I'm kind of psyched about the Korean one again, mostly because, okay, they say it's based on real events.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the Asian films are getting increasingly more engaging. They actually seem better than the ones that Hollywood comes up with. Directing, production, storyline, even. I recently saw a Hollywood film called My Sassy Girl, and I was thinking, oh my gosh,
terrible.
Didn't we just have a My Sassy Girl? Like,
yeah, that was in 201,
exactly.
but that was a Korean version.
And the Korean one was excellent. Is the Hollywood one good? Isn't it adaptation similar?
It is an adaptation, but the problem with that is the fact that, you see, in Korean context, the idea of a girl who's kind of
dominant.
very dominant is very new to them because they're used to very demure girls.
Correct.
So it was a big hit in Korea because of that. But when you transfer it to a Hollywood context, in an American context, you know, dominant women are not exactly that rare. Yeah, so...
I mean, check out one of the world's richest women, Oprah.
Well, she's not exactly dominant, but...
She's not... Well...
Yeah, but... we're talking about like dominant women, like women in action films, like Angelina Jolie shooting down people and stuff
Or
like that.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel to some extent, yeah.
Jennifer Garner.
So that it's not so rare to see women behaving that way.
It's
So that's why it is. But I'm psyched. Actually, there was one film that there wasn't space for, but it's this film called Doubt with Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman is accused of, I think, molesting a boy in a church or something. And Meryl Streep plays a nun who tries to get Philip Seymour Hoffman out of the church. But that I think is also another possible contender for the Oscars.
But that's definitely not under the action category.
No. I'm talking about the Oscar bait.
Oscar bait. Well, that's Oscar bait for you. Meanwhile, that's all the time we have for you today on Reza Pop, with all the movies that you have to go watch this season. So, thank you so much for educating all of us, Helmi.
You educated all of us too, Sarah.
Just a little.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.